It might not be the right time. I might not be the right one.
When I arrived in Munich with my parents, the very first day, my cousin who lives there, she has a newborn, like not even a year old or a year old. We just toured around the city for that first day. And at one point, my dad said to Karen, he's like, there's no old people here. And I was like, what are you talking about? I saw old people everywhere. And then at one point we were coming back to where my cousin lives, and my dad, I thought it was so interesting, because my dad was searching out older people as a mirror of who he is. I was literally looking for gay people. It's true. I was like, where are all the gays in the lederhosen? I mean, where are you? And then my cousin was saying, she has a baby in a stroller. She was looking for other young moms with kids. My mom, on the other hand, I asked her this morning, I texted her and I was like, by the way, we were all looking for ourselves in other people. What were you looking for? And my mom, my mom just said, you know, I just was so grateful, that I could be there and be having an experience at 83, which was just a sidebar. But the point about that is the three of us were looking for ourselves in other people. Inclusion. And I thought that was really fascinating about how it's so needed culturally to make sure we don't feel alone, that we're not disenfranchised, that we're not marginalized, that your own optics on self are wanting to be experienced out in the world, to know that you're part of tribe and community. I thought it was really fascinating that that's where my dad's wiring was at, that we were all wired to look at the things of how we were ourselves personally identified, and all of us felt like we weren't seeing the thing that we are, which is fascinating. And why it's so important in community and in what we're creating to be inclusionary. I mean, I think we are seeing that. What are all these movements about now? Trying to include other people besides what we are normalized to see. So I don't know, that's not a lesson per se, it just was really fascinating that that's human nature, is that we're seeking out a mirror of ourselves so that we don't feel alone. And then the other thing is it just has to do more with the challenge that I'm always saying I have with my parents. I did not get triggered this time, which was a big victory for me, especially with my mom. My big epiphany with my parents, whenever I say goodbye to them, I've talked about over the years, even though I'm teaching vulnerability, even though I'm teaching intimacy, even though I'm teaching how do you be brave and expressing all feelings all the time with people, regardless of our concern about what they are going to do with it. That's not your job. Your job is not to worry about how people respond. Your job is to just feel. By feeling, you give other people the permission to do what? To feel. So I was saying goodbye to my uncle, who's very German, and I mean very German, and he shook my hand. Of course, I grabbed him and hugged him. I was bawling, and I looked in his eyes, and he had tears in his eyes. And I hugged my aunt, and she was crying, and she ran upstairs and got holy water and blessed me. It was so crazy for my trip. And then I got to my mom and dad, and I was filled with so much stuff about this trip, and about their age, and about this might be their last trip to the homeland, and me getting older, and just all the craziness of being alive on this planet and being in a human body, and what does this all mean? And even though I was crying and expressing that, I still had a hard time really looking at them in the eye, really being with them, to really see their fear and their pain and their love for me and for the experience we had. But it really is still me trying to protect myself. Look, with somebody who loves me unconditionally, and it's still hard for me to be as fully available as I knew I could be. So it's not to beat ourselves up, it's just awareness about, I could do better, I could be more honest, I can be more brave, right? That's what we just got to keep doing in life, in our work, in life and in our work.